Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to F2 Worlds, the channel where we talk all things Final Fantasy. In a previous video, we covered some memorable quotes said by Tidus during the game that highlighted his character qualities and progression throughout the story. So I thought, why not continue that mini-series? The Ultimania archives have some memorable quotes for each of the significant characters, so we will definitely get to all of them at some point. So for this video, we will be going through the memorable quotes of Maester Seymour. If you haven't seen the lore video I covered for him, you can check it out in the description below, so you will have an idea of his character and backstory there. I would also like to remind you that I will be streaming on Twitch every Sunday starting tomorrow at 8 AM PST, so be sure to follow me on Twitch to hang out as we explore more gaming universes and perhaps come up with video ideas for them. Today, we will be looking at his character qualities, progression, and backstory through his memorable quotes. So let us begin with the most memorable quote entries of Maester Seymour.
Are you afraid? Yuna, take me as your pillar of strength, as Yunalesca had her Lord Zayon.
Ah, this quote is so caring, almost romantic. Unfortunately, if you had played this game more than once, then you know this quote is very deceitful. Seymour is a very charismatic maester who is able to use his position to influence the Guado while being able to keep his true intentions inside. We know that to reach his ultimate goal, he has to become Sin so he can continue the cycle of destruction, and he is willing to get to Yuna's good side and exploit it to reach his ultimate goal. While this works initially to get closer to Yuna, the suspicion from the party and the circumstances around his father's death ultimately exposes Seymour's true nature, so he has to resort to more direct measures by confronting the party to achieve his goal, which is foiled at every turn.
Why are you still here, sir? I beg your pardon. We Guado are keen to the scent of the Farplane.
Being of the race of the Guado, the race that protects the Farplane, Seymour is able to sense when someone is dead and should be in the Farplane, which he senses as the party is leaving. It is unfortunate that this small detail isn't explored a little further until Auron reveals that he is an unsent much later in the game. So this small detail is likely used as a small foreshadowing that eventually leads to Auron being revealed as an unsent.
Death is a sweet slumber. All the pain of life is gently swept away. Ah, yes. So you see, if all life were to end in Spira, all suffering would end. Don't you see? Do you not agree?
If there was one line that ultimately describes Seymour's character, it is this line. His mindset and behavior is very much influenced by this quote. This is stemmed from his rough childhood when his mother sacrificed herself to become anima in order for Seymour to use to defeat Sin in order to earn acceptance from Spira's inhabitants due to his prejudice as a half-breed. Unfortunately, this act resulted in Seymour feeling completely alone to the point where his nihilistic mindset developed and became the Seymour that we know in the game. I could honestly attach the Maester Seymour Origins video here as the entire explanation of this quote, so definitely watch that video if you haven't yet.
But using Machina, that's bad, isn't it?
Pretend you didn't see them.
As a Maester of Yevon, Seymour should be against the use of Forbidden Machina for any reason. However, when he gives this response due to Wakka being against the use of Machina as a devout follower of Yevon, this surprises the party. While Seymour shows a front of defeating Sin at all costs, even if it means using Forbidden Machina to achieve such a feat is courageous, noble, and should be rewarded, he knows that this operation will fail and has ulterior motives of using this failed operation to bring more followers into Yevon and enforce that the teachings of Yevon are the only way to defeat Sin, which in turn would bring more power to Seymour, Hinoc, and the other Maesters. We know Seymour to be the charismatic and charming leader of the Guado and Maester of Yevon, but we also know that he is very good at using such fronts to hide his true motive, which is to become Sin to bring about destruction to Spira in order for its citizens to be spared the suffering of life as he did when he lost his mother when he was a child. Due to Seymour not being a main character in the story, he didn't get as many memorable quote selections as the other characters did, which is a shame because I really love the way Seymour was written and would have loved to learn more details about his character. Do you agree with the quotes selected to highlight Seymour's qualities? What other lines do you think should have been added to these entries? Let me know in the comment section below. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed these lore videos I make and follow me on Twitch. I will be streaming games every Sunday, so you don't want to miss out. Other than that, this is Enzo signing out, and that, as they say, is that.